Hello everyone, so this is going to be my video blog 3 titled Project Management Process Group and Knowledge Area Mapping. My name is INFM. To start off, we're going to be talking about process group and knowledge area mapping. These mappings are used mostly in organizations and businesses that are involved in projects because they are used to categorize key aspects of them, and that would include knowledge areas and processes. We're going to start off with process groups. Process is defined as interrelated actions and activities to achieve specific outcomes. The mapping allows us to bundle together those processes into initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing groups. Knowledge areas are defined as sets of processes to accomplish project management functions and success. This would include groups such as integration, scope, scheduling, cost, and so much more that I've listed here. First discussion is going to be the two processes that are commonly used in businesses and organizations when preparing or managing. The first process group I wanted to talk about is initiating process group. This is basically the groups that are the first involved in project management. And so I have two processes involved, including develop project charter and identifying the stakeholders. For the first process, develop project charter, the charter is really important in trying to determine what budget, resources, and tools are necessary for the success of the project. And so a charter is defined as a formal document to officially authorize the project to a project manager or a team. And this allows the manager to state what organizational resources that are needed for the activities of the project. Inputs involved for the development of the charter would include the statement of work or SOW. That involves the vision, goals, objectives of the project, and then there are several other inputs that may be included in developing project charters, including business cases, agreements, such as contracts and letter of intents for the project. Tools and techniques are just defined as experiences or techniques that the manager or team uses to produce this charter. And so that would include first-hand experience from the manager or the team to identify decisions and actions for problems or conflict that may occur throughout the management process. And then output would be the charter itself. So the charter is developed and therefore they're able to authorize the project. The second process I wanted to talk about is identifying the stakeholder. So it's like it's titled, it's just to identify and document a stakeholder for the project. We want to do this as early as possible in the project so that we can have the resources and budget that is necessary for managing it. The input would be a charter. That could be one example, having a document to show what is necessary and what is required for the project success, and then the stakeholder can review it. And the stakeholder can be anybody. It could be the team or the manager themselves, but it can also be a sponsor, a financial sponsor, or a board member who want to influence the project positively. And tools and techniques would be analysis of the project, so just reviewing the charter, seeing if that's what they want to support, that's what they want to put their time and effort into for the project. And then the output would be registering the stakeholder. So once the stakeholder has been decided, they can be registered into the project's development. The second process group I wanted to talk about is the closing process group. And basically it's to close a project and make reports on the project success and to measure it. And so it's just as it says, it's to finalize all the processes involved in the project. It provides plenty of lessons learned throughout the management process, formal project conclusion, and it also frees up the resources that were used from the organization for this project so that they continue with other projects or other endeavors. And so inputs for this group would be providing the plans and the process assets required for the project to succeed. And then the tools and techniques would be the expert judgment and meetings. So the manager and team come meet up with all the other departments involved in the organization to review the project and then review it with the client and customers to conclude the project and show them what the outcome was. And the output would just be the final project, and hopefully it would be a successful one. Post-implementation overview is also included in the closure, in that the team and the manager themselves may just overview the project success and to measure how successful it was, what resources were used, and how they could better it in the next projects that they undertake. So our second discussion is going to be on 2 knowledge areas. Our first knowledge area that we're going to talk about is project integration management. It is a required process to determine project elements, including resources, activities that should be appropriately assigned for the project. I've listed some of the steps or processes that are involved in this knowledge area, and then it's usually just it's a step for a project manager to be given authority to manage project functions and activities and to ensure that the project meets organizational goals, budget, time, risk, and resources. It's basically preparing the teams and managers with a clear overview of the project and to provide expectations and requirements for the project. The second knowledge area I wanted to talk about is project risk management. It's a process to identify and analyze and act according to possible or presented risk throughout the lifetime of the project. I chose this area because I'm also in the risk management course, so this just correlates with the other course. There are active and passive aspects to risk management, including active as identifying, analyzing, and responding to risks before they become issues, and then passive actions are to plan and prepare to control for possible risk. Risk can include factors that can potentially impact the project, also known as issues. These risk managements are lengthy and well thought out planning for risk to determine appropriate strategies, and prioritizing high and medium and low priority risk is also involved in risk management. Those who are involved in this management are project managers and teams who work together with the client representatives and CEOs to determine the risk and to prioritize and develop the most effective plan of action to tackle it. Throughout the management process, monitoring the project is the next step in this knowledge area for the project's success. Overall, as a take-home point, project management can become complicated. As I've listed previous slides, that there are a lot of processes, there are a lot of actions that need to take place, extensive planning, so it's just important to ensure that everyone involved in the project, including the client and customer themselves, to know and understand what is going on. And that is what leads to project success. And here are my references. Thank you for watching.